Alrighty, in this video we are going to be beginning our color work sections, those vertical faux brioche stripes that go throughout the Emoryi shawl. And I am on row 8, so I've completed rows 1 through 7. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to first show you how to do it the way it's written, and then I will be providing you with a second video to show you how I would work this and reduce the number of ends that you have to weave in. So there's a way to do that, but I do want to show you this video as the pattern is written in case if that's the way you prefer to do your stitching. So to begin this this row, we're going to chain 3 as before, which I have done. I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to double crochet twice into the first stitch. Oopsie daisies. Or I'm going to drop my stitch as I'm working it. So we're going to double crochet twice into that first stitch. That's 1 and 2. I know these beginning first stitches are a little difficult to see as I'm holding the fabric, so bear with me. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and skip the next stitch. So I'm skipping this stitch here. I can zoom in for you guys again. Off screen. Let's move this out of the way. So I'm skipping this stitch here and I'm going to work into this one here. So my next double crochet, I'm skipping this one and I'm going to work into this one. So we chained 1, skipped 1, and now we're double crocheting, chain 1, skip 1. So we're going to skip this one and we're going to double crochet into this one. And we're going to continue that across to the chain 1 stitch and follow the instructions for working the chain 1 stitch. So I'm going to go pretty quickly through this so that way we can get to the next color. Well, get to the chain 1 space, and then I'll show you guys how I add in the next color. So we're repeating from the start across the chain 1 space, which means that I'm chaining 1 and skipping this last stitch here. I'm going to double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the chain 1 space. I'm going to mark my chain 1 space because it's easier to keep track of the point of the shawl, the middle of the shawl, with a stitch marker there. And then I'm going to continue down the side. I am just about now ready to complete row 8, and I wanted to show you how I add in a new color. So to add in color B, to create a smoother transition between colors, I like to add it into the final stitch of the row I'm working on and about to go into. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense now that I say it out loud, but I think it will make more sense once you see what I'm going to do. So I'm on the last stitch of row 8, and I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to do a double crochet through until I only have 2 stitches left on my hook, like this. And this is the point at which I'm going to add in the next color B. And in this case, it's this wonderful sagey cactus green. So what I do, and I just did that really quick, so I'm going to slow that down. I create a loop. Some people like to make a slip knot as if you're beginning a chain foundation row. I don't really do that. I just loop my yarn over the hook, and then I pull that loop through the final 2 stitches of color A. And then what I'll do is I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Those will be the beginning chains of row 9. And to keep my ends from getting crazy and to make sure that the tension is okay on that edge, I like to tie these 2 strings together before I continue working. So I've clipped color A so that I can do so. And now I'm just double knotting it so that it is secure, and I can continue on to row 9. So to begin row 9, we've chained those 3 in color B, and I'm going to double crochet twice in the first stitch, and then I'm going to double crochet in the next stitch. Then I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to skip this stitch here, and the next stitches that I'm going to work are going to be into the stitches of row 7. So that's 2 rows back, right? So I'm going to yarn over, and to work that stitch, I'm going to be working here. So here's that chain 1 space, that big old hole, and I'm going to insert my hook as if I were working a normal stitch. So I'm going to go through both loops. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm still doing a double crochet, going through both loops of that stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop, and then I'm going to finish it as a regular double crochet. And it looks like I missed the stitch. This first stitch is always a little tricky for me to see personally because I don't have the best eyesight always. Okay, there we go. So we're going to yarn over, insert the hook from front to back like that. We're going to have our yarn behind the fabric. We're going to pull up a loop to the front. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And this is going to hug that that chain 1 into the double crochet stitch that we're just now making. And I'm going to do a few more before I show you again, because it's a little bit easier to see when I have a little bit more fabric to hold on to. All right. So to work into the previous row, which is row 7 in this case, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook from front to back right here. So here's that chain 1 space again. We're going to yarn over, insert a hook right there into the next stitch of row 7. We're going to pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'll do that again. So I chained 1 so I could skip the next stitch of row 8. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch of row 7. I'm going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1. I'm going to skip this stitch. Here's that chain 1 space right here, and we're going to yarn over, insert our hook from front to the back. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and complete that double crochet. And you can see that on both the right side, which is the side we're not working on, and the wrong side, it looks almost exactly the same because we're hugging that chain into this double crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and continue across to the chain 1 space so that you can see what will happen there. All right. So now that I'm at the chain one space, I'm going to, of the center of the shawl, I'm going to double crochet, chain one, and double crochet again into that chain one space. I'm going to chain one, skip the next stitch, and then I'm going to continue in that pattern of chain one, skip one, double crochet into the next stitch of row 7 until I get to the final 2 stitches. So I'm going to continue with this across. And as I finish this row up, I'm going to show you how I would, in the next video, I'm going to show you how I would do color changes without having to weave in so many ends. I know it can be very, very exhausting to weave in ends, so I was talking with Jess and we came up with a solution that allows us to carry the yarn up through the chains. I'm now nearing the end of this row. Oops, I forgot to chain one. And at the end of the row, when you get to those final 2 stitches, you're going to double crochet in the first of the last 2, and then you're going to double crochet 3 times in the top of that turning chain, which is your final stitch. Alrighty. So that's that video. I'm going to show you again the fabric. This is the wrong side, technically, and the right side. They're virtually reversible, and so you won't have to worry about if your vertical stripes are creating any sort of texture. They should just lay flat. That chain one should be getting hugged into those double crochets, and you'll know you're on the right track. So I'll see you guys on the next video.